Hello and welcome to today's episode. We will be continuing on the exterior portion of our base this episode. I did mention a few episodes ago about building up two large towers beside this head, and that's pretty much what we're going to do today. So let's get to it. So I've already built up the base of our towers. We're going to have one on either side. They're going to be fairly large, but not as tall as the head. Now, remember, this is supposed to be a society that's perpetually at war, so they're not going to be some fancy architectural marvel. They're going to look cobbled together out of necessity, just to sort of survive an incoming attack or whatever. And I want them to kind of look in between a medieval tower and like an industrial era giant factory chimney. But first, we'll be needing quite a lot of deep slate. So we've been using this quite a lot recently, which means our supplies are running low. So I've just sort of dived to a really low level in the world now, and I'm just going to collect a fair amount of this. I'm going to go for like 2 inventories worth. That should easily be enough. I'm also going to get some tough wine down here as well. And here we go. So we've got, yeah, a full mule's worth and a full inventory's worth. And now I'm just going to build up the base. Now, I'm not really sure what block I want this base. I'm just going to use cobblestone for now. And I'm just going to build up the layers. Because it's kind of brutalist, it's not going to be too fancy. I'm going to rely mainly on the gradients to make it look half decent. And we've built up the first half of it now. Just trying to get a bit of an idea of the scale. I think that might actually look a little bit too wide, so I think I'm just going to narrow. I'm going to make it go a little bit narrower as it goes taller. And so I've done that now, and we've put in a few other blocks. So we've used coal ore, we've used tuff, we've used the deep slate. Now I want to do gradients on my build like this first, because I find it a lot easier to just go back in there with the pickaxe and you know, put in the gradients manually rather than trying to do it as I'm building up the tower. I mean, personally, I just find it a lot easier. So, yeah, the next stage is literally just getting in there and just mixing up the colours a little bit. And here we go. So we are finished with this tower. So the gradient doesn't look fantastic. I think it's a little bit too small to have a really nice gradient on it. I mean, the building as a whole. But, I mean, overall, I'm fairly happy with it. So we've got these little windows in with the bars. Again, I really like that because it looks like there's just like missing bricks that have been turned into windows. And we've completed the other side now. I've added in some cracks into the towers as well. Also, you'll notice on the left side that there's a giant hole in the top of the tower that's on fire. So that's supposed to look like, you know, perhaps an invading force has recently attacked this place and either a trebuchet or a catapult has hit that tower and exploded it. But yeah, I mean, I think it looks a little bit out of place at the moment, but once we get the rest of the stuff built up around it, I think they'll actually fit in fairly well. And now we're just going to build up the ground around this tower, because obviously we do not want it to be floating. So I've got a fair amount of glass blocks. I'm just going to fill in all around here. Maybe build up the terrain a little bit around the towers, but I think I'm going to do the majority of the terrain in next episode, where I'm just going to swap out all this grass because, you know, the outside of this massive mountain fortress, it shouldn't be grass, you know. Horses trample over it all the time, you know, armies run over it. It has to be dirt, so I'm going to get on that next episode. But for now, I'm just going to build up so this doesn't look like it's just floating ridiculously. And I think I may build up like a little bridge going into this tower from here, make it look all rickety from the scaffolding. I'm not sure what I'm going to use these towers for. I have a bit of an idea for the one on the other side. I think I'm going to use that as like a delivery mechanism from my iron farm when I get around to decorating that. I think I'm just going to have the minecart going up it. But for this one, not sure what I'm going to use it for, but I am just going to build out a little bridge to it. Just to give the place some cohesion, because these towers stick out a little bit, I think. They look sort of out of place. They need to be more joined in with the rest of the mountain. So I think I'll have the doorway probably about there, and then I'll just build up with slabs, make it look like it's sort of curved in the middle. So I've pretty much done that now. I don't think you can really see it from here, But I just wanted to, there it is, just like a side view. Yeah, you can't really see it very well, but I just wanted to step back and have a look at this place from a great distance. And the gradient's definitely a little better when you're further away, because it looks like it's more melded together as opposed to the clear distinction between the dark, the dark and light stone. But yeah, I mean, from far away, this place looks great. Really like how it's coming along so far. I think I definitely need to connect those towers more to the mountain. But apart from that, I'm really liking where this is going. I think what I'll do now is I'll wait till night time and we'll see what it looks like at night, because obviously it glows and stuff. So, and here we are. Unfortunately, it has started to rain, but I mean, you get the idea. I just wanted to see how much light it gives off and how much it stands out against the environment at night, and I think it looks pretty good, especially the eyes. Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks better from further away, I think. I think that's just the nature of gradients, though. And so I've added some towers going, not towers, sorry, some like walls going from the towers into the mountain. I've put like this little outpost thing on the side here. The reason I did that is just because, like I said, the towers stick out too much. They're a little bit too further away, but they need to be kind of further away from the mountain for what I'm going to actually use them for. So, well, what I'm going to use the wall for that they are going to connect to. So, I mean, I just joined them. I think maybe that wall's a little bit too thin. I might have needed to make it a little bit thicker. But I think for now, it's good enough. And if it starts really bothering me, then I'll probably build it up some more. And now we're just going to continue building up the scaffolding. So we already did the other side. And now we're just going to pretty much do this side. I have got kind of a fun idea for this side as well, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get it done this episode. I want to build like a little elevator shaft. Like, think Game of Thrones in the ice place, what was it, Castle Black, and they've got that elevator that goes up the ice wall. I want to put an elevator on this mountain that goes to the top of the mountain. And I'm just going to decorate this place with some campfires. These are supposed to act as railings. It's supposed to look like railings. I'm just trying out a few different designs and seeing what it looks. Because I mean, last episode, like I said, I didn't really like the scaffolding. So I'm just gonna build it slightly different on this side, and then maybe pick a design and change the other side to match. And I think I'm also just gonna stick some barrels down as well, just to decorate the place a little bit more. I think that should be alright. Maybe one there. Yep. And we are going to put other things on these scaffolding as well. We're going to have quite a few details on here. But now I just wanted it so it was actually functional and we could walk up and down it. Maybe stick some barrels here as well. And I think we'll just take a step back and take a look what it looks like from a slight distance away. First thing, I'm just going to add in these fences, actually. Because on the other side, we do have fences and they have chains coming off them. And the chains are an aspect that I really like. But I don't think we can do it this way because of how we build it. I mean, I can just have the fences coming down on the logs like this. Maybe put it on the other side as well. Again, I'm not really sure how I feel about that. I mean, we'll just leave it for now. I mean, we can always come back to it. Yeah, that should be good enough. So here's a look from relatively far back. Now, it doesn't look as complex as that other side, but remember, we are going to put the elevator in there at some point, which hopefully will make it look as complex. These barrels don't really go here because you can't really see them, so I'm going to try putting them on the other side so they're a little bit more visible. So you should be able to see them pretty well. Maybe stick another one there. I want it facing downwards though. Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully those are a lot more visible. Yeah, they definitely are. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much good enough for now, I think. Next episode, like I said, we're going to be mainly working on doing some terrain stuff, replacing all this grass with like dirt and coarse dirt, gravel, stuff like that. So it looks like it's walked over and trampled over. And I think we're going to build up a little bit more of a wall around it, and then we may or may not build a skeleton farm. But for today, that's pretty much going to wrap us up. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.